Hey there, and welcome back to WatchMinded, the place where we don't just look at watches, we build them. Rolex Land-Dweller Style Watch Build, Episode 2.
Previously on WatchMinded, it all started with two dials from AliExpress. Both had something special, a textured honeycomb pattern that echoed one of the boldest watch releases of the year, the Rolex Land-Dweller. One was ice blue, a color that's been appearing everywhere lately, from heritage brands to modern icons. The other, black, clean, serious, mysterious. In the first episode, the build followed a more predictable path, assembling a watch that paid tribute to a legendary Swiss design. The story behind that design was explored, where it came from, what inspired it, and why that dial held more meaning than it seemed. But there was also a promise of something different, something unexpected. Today, it's time for the second dial, the black one. The one that didn't quite suit a classic case, the one that called for something bolder, sharper, maybe even polarizing. Let's see where that choice leads.
Here's the main character of today's episode, the black honeycomb dial. Let's take a closer look. Compared to the ice blue dial, this one features a Seiko logo, although the listing on AliExpress didn't show or mention it. The hexagonal cells here are more rounded, giving the surface a softer, more uniform texture. Unlike the blue version, the space between the cells isn't polished. It's matte. That dull contrast doesn't fight for attention. It grounds the design. And while it lacks the sunburst effect we saw on the blue dial, that's not necessarily a downside. The ice blue felt energetic, catching light from every angle. This one is quieter. It draws attention through its bold shape and clarity, not shimmer. It's a dial that speaks with confidence, without raising its voice. When choosing a case for this black honeycomb dial, I wanted something with presence, something that could match its bold texture without overpowering it. I also knew I wanted an integrated bracelet, as a subtle nod to the Land-Dweller inspiration. Not an exact match, but a clear echo of that seamless, unified silhouette. And the answer came quickly, an AP Royal Oak-style case. Why? Because of its sharp geometry, angular brushed surfaces, and iconic octagonal bezel. This design doesn't just complement the dial, it enhances it. The clean lines of the case mirror the structure of the honeycomb pattern, while the industrial look of the Royal Oak brings out the technical feel of the dial. Together, they create a watch that feels modern, architectural, and purposeful. It's not about copying a famous shape. It's about creating a balance between texture and form, light and shadow, function and style. This case feels like a natural frame for this dial, not a contrast, a continuation. This case measures 42 millimeters across, 52 lug-to-lug, and just 12 millimeters thick. It wears bold and flat on the wrist, exactly what you'd expect from a Royal Oak-inspired design. Thanks to the integrated bracelet, it feels even larger, but the slim profile keeps it refined. If you like presence without bulk, this size hits the sweet spot. This case comes with a bracelet inspired by the Royal Oak, and honestly, that's a huge win. You get that signature integrated look right out of the box. No extra parts or adapters needed. The bracelet features brushed flat links with polished beveled edges, capturing that classic balance between sportiness and elegance. It tapers smoothly toward the clasp, which helps the watch sit comfortably and securely on the wrist, not too bulky, not too floppy. And here's what I really like, the way it connects into the case. No awkward gaps, No visible end links, just a clean, seamless flow from case to bracelet, as if it was designed as a single, sculpted piece. The clasp is a butterfly-style push-button deployant, low profile, symmetrical, and surprisingly satisfying to open and close. It keeps the silhouette sleek while giving you that solid click when it locks into place. When it came to choosing the hands for this build, I had two options. The first, the same hand set I used in the previous episode. They're classic, familiar, and immediately bring that Rolex vibe to the dial. And honestly, they worked beautifully on the ice blue version. But this time, the watch should feel different. The black honeycomb dial is more serious, more grounded, and the royal oak style case adds sharpness, structure, and a more modern attitude. So I went with the second option. Matte black surrounds, clean geometric design, no fluff, no flair, just pure function. They don't try to look luxurious. Instead, they lean into modern tool watch energy. Against the dark honeycomb dial, they create strong contrast, making the watch easier to read and giving it a sharper, more tactical look. And while the previous hands whispered heritage, these ones say purpose. As in the previous build, we're using the Seiko NH35. It gives you about 41 hours of power reserve, runs at -20 to +40 seconds per day, and supports both hacking and hand winding. Reliable, affordable, easy to service. It's hard to beat. All the link to tools and parts you will find in the description below. Before we jump into the build, let's take a quick look at the watch I'm wearing today. And of course, it's the custom Land-Dweller style watch from the previous episode. At the end of this video, I'll not only break down the budget of today's build, but also compare this new watch with the one we built last time, and even swap their dials. By the way, I recently went on a summer trip and took another piece with me, my perfect summer diver. And if you're anything like me, you know how it goes. It doesn't matter where you are. Your eyes are always hunting for watches, even on church towers. Wow, cool watch. Wait, is that automatic or mechanical? Who winds it? No way it's quartz. Yeah, that's my life. If you're the same kind of watch-minded human, go ahead and hit that like button. Alright, let's get to the assembly. I'll walk you through the main steps fairly quickly, but if you're looking for a more detailed breakdown of movements, tools, parts, and a full assembly process, you can check out my video called Step-by-Step Guide to Building Your Own DIY Watch right here on the channel. Let's begin with dial preparation. The NH35 movement has 2 alignment holes for dial feet, but the dial we're using has 5. So the first thing I do is carefully snip off the extra feet using side cutters. Then I file down any small bumps to get a completely flat surface. And finally, I blow off any remaining debris to keep everything clean. Now, we can install the dial onto the movement. Just align the 2 remaining feet with the peg holes and press it gently into place. Next, we need to find the midnight position. Rotate the crown until the date changes. That marks midnight. Now we can install the hands, all pointing precisely to 12 o'clock. Here's the order: hour hand at 12 o'clock, minute hand at 12 o'clock. And finally, the seconds hand. Take your time with this step. Clean alignment is everything. Now we move on to the case. This one is secured with 8 screws on the case back, so instead of a case opener, you'll just need a standard precision screwdriver. Inside the case, you'll find a plastic spacer ring. Don't lose it. It's essential for keeping the movement securely fixed in place. Let's now prepare the movement for casing. Place the movement with the dial and hands already attached onto a movement holder. Be careful. The dial is slightly wider than the movement, so it doesn't drop all the way into the holder. That means you'll need to be especially gentle to avoid touching or bending the hands. Now press the release button and carefully remove the stem. Drop the movement into the case, insert the supplied stem, and make sure the plastic ring is properly seated to hold everything in place. In most cases, the stem will be a little too long, so trim it to the correct length. Go ahead and screw the case back down. And just like that, your custom watch is ready. Let's take a look at how it looks once we put the bracelet back on. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these builds coming. And by the way, if you need to adjust the bracelet size, you can use the same screwdriver you used for the case back. Just unscrew 2 pins from each side to remove links and size it to your wrist. With the case and bracelet, I received 4 small screws. At first, I thought they were spares for the case back, but actually, they're used to connect the end links to the case. So once you've sized the bracelet, just attach it to the case and screw them in. Simple as that. And now the watch is ready to wear. The bracelet looks great, but it's not the most flexible. I would say it is stiff. Let's compare the 2 builds side by side. The first one, our ice blue dial, feels bright, modern, and effortlessly wearable. It's got softer edges, a thinner profile, and a more elegant vibe. You could wear this one to the office, on a weekend walk, or even to a casual dinner. It's playful, but not loud. Now the second, our today's build, is the black honeycomb dial in a royal oak style case. And this one means business. It feels heavier, more aggressive, and more architectural. The sharp angles and iconic bezel give it a presence on the wrist, perfect for evenings, events, or when you want your wrist to do the talking. Hold on, what if we tried something crazy? Okay, now that's a whole new vibe. So, which one do you like more? We've seen how this custom build came together. Now let's talk numbers. Here's a quick budget breakdown, so you know exactly what it might cost to build your own custom Rolex Land-Dweller style Honeycomb watch without draining your wallet. But before we dive into the details, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Here's the breakdown. Case, $44, and that includes the bracelet. Dial, $15. Hands, $6. Movement, Seiko NH35, $49. That brings the total cost to just $114. All the links to tools and parts are waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for watching WatchMinded. Hit the like button and subscribe. See you in the next build.